Marilyn said she's not coming tonight. She's got grandkids soccer. So on this one, instead of pulling on this one, I'm just going to kind of let it flow and not pull as tight. That's going to give me a looser coil. And then I'm going to let go of it a little more and still take that end, just a little tiny dab of glue, and hold it down. That gives me a looser coil and fills up more space on my thing. Okay, after you learn the coils, do you want to do the coils or do you want me to show you how to shape them first?
Let's shape them.
Okay.
Yeah, because then I don't know what I want to do yet.
Yeah.
Did you do those, Alexis?
I did.
Very pretty.
And I haven't done this before, but somebody asked for it to be a thing and I was like, okay, I'll learn how to do it. So it's fairly simple. I sat and did this one in about an hour. So, okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. And let's do one of the flower petals. The teardrop, I think is what it's called. So I'm going to take it and I want it to be pretty loose. So I'm not going to hold it too tight. So I'm going to take it and roll fairly loose. And then I'm going to let go and put my glue on it one more time and wait for it to dry. As I'm waiting for it to dry, I'm then going to take it on that spot where I held it down, and I'm just going to use my fingers to pinch. And as you pinch it, you only pinch that one side, yep, and it makes that little teardrop shape. So you can do the same thing if I wanted to do, let's say, a leaf. I can take that coil that I have and pinch both sides. And if I pinch both sides, you're going to try real hard not to pinch the whole thing because you want the middle to still be kind of spiral-like. But if I pinch both sides, then it turns into that kind of leaf shape. We can do the same thing with just about any shape that you want. You just have to be careful where you pinch to make it into another shape. So let's say we want to do a square. Ooh, this one has, sometimes they have that wax on the end from where they were connected and you can just cut them off. Also, if you wanted it to be a smaller coil, you don't have to use the whole strip. You can cut it off partway through. What did we say we're doing? Square. Uh-oh. Coil. Now I'm going to let this one go a lot for my square. And put a little on the end. Now with the square, I'm going to do like I did with the teardrop. I'm going to squeeze, I'm sorry, with the leaf and squeeze both sides. And then I'm going to turn it and kind of push those sides together and squeeze. It's easier if you lay it flat and squeeze those sides. So I've squeezed, I've turned,
That was like a diamond.
and I've squeezed again.
Huge.
So really, you're just taking that initial curve, that initial swirl, and doing it in different ways to make it shape a little different. On that sheet that I gave you, I think I gave you like 21 different ways. The only one that's any different there is the one that's kind of this S curve. And the only thing different about it is that I curved on both ends. So instead of going all the way, I started part way on it and then I stopped and turned and went the other way.
So the heart, is that what you're talking about?
Yep. On the heart and on the S curve here, the green one. So you can take it, do that little swirl,
Right there. Got like a little extension on it.
and then I'm gonna go to the other side. The
That's the
difference
part
here
too.
is that you're not putting any glue on this one, so it's gonna move a little farther. It could uncoil itself. Oh. So when you do that, you can have it curve two separate directions.
Which one did you just do?
This one right here.
Okay, gotcha. It's like a bicycle. You
Yeah,
have like a
yes.
little handlebar on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought I would share with you some of the things that patterns that I saw other people using. Because I'm not always super creative. Well, I have to do a screen share, don't I?
Oh, come on, Alexis.
I'm creative in using other people's patterns.
You know,
So
I'm
Pinterest
creative
is
in that
for-
way also, yeah. I'm a big fan of Pinterest.
Which is where I found all these patterns. On
Oh, look at the
Pinterest.
Christmas
So
lights.
yeah, those Christmas lights are just that that teardrop shape, real big.
What's
That
the
I
little
thought were
white
really
thing
cute.
on there?
It's just another small teardrop that they layered on top of it. The color is so bad up there. The flowers and the trees are just kind of
Oh,
swirls
wow, look at
around each
that.
other. This one is just, I wish the color would show up better. I don't want to log in. I just want you to show it to me. There it is. So it's just more of those teardrops that they all formed them towards the middle. And then layered that second layer on top of it.
That's cute.
Yeah, and the little star on top, they pinched like a square, but then
Yeah,
they pinched
yeah,
it
and like a
extra tight
diamond.
in the middle,
That's-
yeah. Some really great ones. And super simple ones like fish.
Those fish are really neat.
Look at that. Just teardrop with them.
This is the similar thing, it's just a teardrop and then it has two smaller teardrops coming on the back for their tails. And then there's these that have like an outline. Why does it change black when I go over it? The heart ones that have like an outline and then you fill in. That's what my friend did with this one. This is a flag that my husband and her husband created. And she used those outlines. You can't see that. She used the outline to keep it all contained. And so to do that, you take, I have to stop changing so y'all can see.
Got like a frame for it.
Exactly. So on that one, you would take a shape that you wanted to do, and instead of doing your coils first, you would use your glue to make an outline. You're going to glue right on the paper to create a little outline. So if I wanted to do this one, I'm going to do a ladybug. Do this part red, so I'm going to draw really light with a tiny bit of glue and then lay my red down on top of that glue. And this is where your tweezers come in handy. So you just kind of lay it on top of that glue and move on. Get on the
The
curve.
edge, very thin edge.
Yep. It is standing up.
Wow.
Advanced. They get real advanced. At the beginning quilling, this is the trickiest thing you'll do tonight. And give it a second to dry. Then you can go in and fill in that area with whatever shapes and colors that you want to do. Using your pinching to make them fit into the corners however you want them to fit. Or you could have it coming outside of those corners, like this. They have that outline, and then they that one is real.
Yeah, but actually this was hard.
But the thing is, once you get going, it's not too hard. I do suggest that you start with something flat without an outline before you do it. I didn't show you how to glue anything down, did I? Maybe I should do that. So, that aside. Music is nice, but it's too loud. Okay, so you took that glue and kind of spread it real thin on your page.
It's kind of dry.
Yeah, we can get you some more. That's on me. So you took that glue and now you're going to take your tweezers and hold on to it and kind of drop it in there so that the bottom of it is all covered in that glue. And then you'll pick it up without squishing it. And you can kind of see, can you kind of see? No. That it's just barely covered in glue. You don't want it soaking because that'll change the shape of it because the glue is wet. And then you take it and just drop it where you want it, press it down, and then try not to touch it for a few seconds while it dries a little more. So that's really the hardest part of it. If it starts to wiggle around, especially in those middle of those, sometimes they'll wiggle a little, or if you have something that's loose, this one has several ends that are loose. That's what this needle nose glue is really good for. You can take it and stick it right underneath there, right in the middle of your quill, give it a little squeeze, and it'll help get it tacked down right where you want it. Yeah. So the hardest ones are going to be the ones that you haven't glued anything together yet. So my little S curve here that I haven't glued to the other part of it is going to be tricky because as I set it in my glue, it's going to try and change shape. So when you do that, you can do it in two pieces. So I would take this one and I would do that big part of the S curve. I would put it where I want it. And then I would go back with this other piece and use my needle nose to lay it exactly where I wanted it. Put a little dot of glue underneath it and hold it where I want it for a second. So that it lays exactly where you want it to. So once you do some of those shapes and start laying them close together, like these flowers are all just those teardrops that we did first, laid into a circle. And then I did those open S curves and the laying up for the
That's on
stems.
this edge then, yeah.
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 So everything here is three-dimensional and kind of standing up outside of the paper, which makes it different than just a collage where you would lay the paper down.
Yeah.
So.
Right, you could do a collage.
You absolutely, yeah. And there, if you go on Pinterest, there are extravagant. Like somebody did a starry night with all these little tiny ones. And
Oh, and did the
it's
portrait.
beautiful. But I can't imagine the
Hours.
hours and hours and hours. They put into it. So I gave you lots of paper. There's more on the back table if you want to make cards or if you want to do just practice ones, whatever you want to try. Go ahead and go for it. Like I said, those colors back there, there's lots of colors. You really only need a few strips. So if you open one, pull out a few strips and leave the rest for everybody else. You don't have to try and put them back in the packaging. It will change. Don't worry about it.
Oh, can I make a cloud with rain?
You do whatever you want to do.
Teardrop.
I like that Christmas tree that I made stuff with.
Yeah. I got to make a bunch of those.
Melissa or Kathy, do y'all have any questions?
I just wanted to think about it.
Oh.
These colors are beautiful.
No? Okay.
White.
Feel free to unmute and shout at me if you think of something.
Oh, there's the actually
And I am here for any questions you might still have. Lots of choices tonight.
Wow.
Funny colors.
Wow.
I know.
There's some.
This is, yeah, this is, wow. That would be a good one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Grab my water bottle for here. It's too hot.
It is hot out there. It's more humid today too, I think.
Claire found Morel right before we got here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Where at?
we were over at the nature area, we were doing some geocaching. And she just happened upon Morel on the way.
A big one?
Bigger than none.
Yeah, it counts, right?
That's right. Hey, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
You like it so far?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this ours too?
It is. Was it too wet?
Yeah, just, I think it picked up some of the moisture from. All good.
If you don't have one of the little blue spreaders, like a gift card or like those cards you get in the mail all the time, like the store value card, work really well to spread the glue.
Anything with an edge.
Yeah. Oh, you're right, it is too wet.
Just like, it's like it sucked up a little of the
Yeah.
moisture.
That's not good. I think I made the paper towel too wet.
I don't record it very well.
Oh, mine's really good.
Well, that's because you're a medium. You know me, I am so confident and everything. I coordinated with finding activities. with her. That's funny.
Too much moisture in it.
Another thing is to get them all the same size.
They have a little tool. It was kind of expensive, which was why I didn't buy them, but if you wanted to get more into it, they have a little tool that has different circle size holes that like measure it for
Oh.
you.
You
So you
can-
drop it in
And you can glue it.
Yep.
So how did you plant the garden?
Next Thursday we plant.
Next Thursday, I'll move you.
I planted some starts in the basement with my little grow light. Some of them look really good. The beans don't look really good. The tomatoes are just barely starting to pop up, so I might have to buy some tomatoes.
So next Thursday, let me know, because I'll get them from Kroll's on Wednesday. I work
Okay.
Wednesdays at Kroll's, so,
Awesome.
yeah.
I'll let you know.
Remind me Tuesday at book club.
Yeah, I'll let you know on Tuesday. Maybe they'll come up, but they don't look good. But I've never planted a garden by myself before. It's always been like with my mother-in-law
Oh,
or with
yeah.
my dad. So I was like,
Oh,
I
you're-
don't actually know what I'm doing.
You're in charge of this?
Yes.
Wow. The kids helped you plant the seeds.
Mm-hmm. Well, my kids, not the
Yeah.
library.
Okay, good. It's official. I'm-
And I just put my fingers on it and counted a bolt and
Mhm.
guided it on there.
Well, once you get it twisted, if you put it flat on your paper to glue it and to pinch it, it might work better.
Like this. Like we have paper back and register.
So having that flat edge to put it on. So did I hear you say you were trying to be a master gardener?
Mhm.
What all does that entail? Like, what do you have to do to become a master gardener?
So you did online classes. I did those, a lot of that during COVID.
Okay.
So it's just like a online, like a PDF that you'd read through. There'd be a video to watch on like, probably 25 different topics.
Mhm.
And then you have to take a open book quiz at the end,
Okay.
which I thought, oh, this will be easy. I got like 87%. But then you have to get so many volunteer hours. Your first year, you have to get 40 volunteer hours. So I'm doing some, I'm gonna do the one flower bed out front and do some annuals in there and then do the
Okay.
impatiens and then do help with meeting and stuff.
Oh, here at the library?
Yeah, we can get 10 hours. So
Awesome.
so many of the volunteer things for hours are down in Coralville, Iowa City. So I know Kathy Ehrenberger is really trying to get more local stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna help when the new fire station's ready to go. Group of us gals are gonna do all the landscaping there, so.
Okay, so you're using a tool in that case.
I do
Yeah.
St. Mary's Church, I do Rainbow Park.
Or just hold on.
What do you just weed there or you like plant or what's your?
At, like Rainbow, I'll plant it.
What about at Baptist Center?
Nope, I don't do, I think that is a project
It
though.
is, I mean, I have a
Yeah.
garden.
Yeah,
So it's more.
I think I did sign up for it, because you could fill out a form and say which areas you were interested in, so. And I haven't heard from them yet. Like today, all day I've been, well, before golfing, but yeah, I was outside for like 4 or 5 hours just reading stuff. Oh, it's nice, you get so many, and we've got some elderly friends that are still in their homes, we help them with like planting their dahlia bulbs or this or that, but you get so many places you're able to like divide stuff and move it from here to there, or it works better in the shade or sun, or, oh, that's way overgrown, and
That's super cool.
you've got a nice resource then.
Yeah.
They used to have a garden they set at is it the elementary school? So the kids would help plant it and then school got out and just cut and everything went wild.
Oh. Yeah, because I guess they're done by the time they
Yeah.
harvest, huh? How's it going over there?
Good.
She showed me a better way to use the tool.
Excellent.
I
Just kind of just put your fingers kind of.
Good.
So the people at home, they picked up like kits.
They did. So I gave them one of the tooling, the needle tools, and then a bottle of glue and like 4 colors of paper.
And then do they need to bring back like the tools?
For this kit, no, because I didn't give like the tweezers, they don't get to keep.
They had to provide that.
Yeah, they have to provide their own. So the things that I do send home, they aren't expected to bring back. But they don't get all of the things that you get here. So, yeah. I try to be as accommodating as we can, especially when there are people who still can't be in public because of COVID.
Is this part of the library budget then that puts this on, or?
It is. Part of the education.
So like the plant sale coming up in the library, no, the library's doing that, aren't they?
There's 3 different organizations. So the library itself is one organization. And then the Friends of the Library is a separate organization. And then the Library Foundation is a third.
Yeah.
And so the foundation fundraises for us as well. But their goal is to I think their main goal is to expand the library as a physical building. And like they do a lot of the big investing.
Sure.
They invest the money and then do all of the big, like they just put in the solar panels.
Okay,
The new roof, they help pay for.
That's the
it.
foundation.
That's the foundation.
yeah.
And the Friends are the ones who do like the plant sale and
Yeah.
that. And a lot of their money goes to things like this. So, yeah.
What if I
So
told you we're not
expand the
from school?
library,
Yeah.
so like finish the lower level?
The lower level is not able to be public space. It's too,
Oh, fire
Sure.
code or something?
yeah,
Oh,
like they would have to put in a false ceiling and then the ceiling isn't tall enough.
oh, was that known when it was built?
I don't know the answer to that. I
Yeah.
feel like it should have been.
Yeah,
But right
Lots of
now, the thought
storage.
is that if we expand it, will be out back this way and this way. So toward
oh,
the.
sure, yeah.
toward the- Oh my gosh. The Boy
Did you
Scout
see this
shed.
property's for sale?
Yes,
Did you see the price on it?
I didn't. Is it like 600,000?
700.
We went to a library conference, like right as that went up for sale, and at the library conference, they were talking about how their library was all out of space, and then this house next door went up for sale, and they turned it into a library annex. And
Oh,
we were like, oh my gosh, we could do that.
yes, no, that the house, so the Stout, where they have the daycare,
Yeah,
so that house there has an old fashioned boiler for heat.
yeah,
And so if somebody would buy it for a house, it would be very unlikely.
we
It's
went in
more-
and looked at it. To see if the space, the physical space would work for like a library annex, but it would be a lot of work. And if it's $700,000 plus the work you gotta do.
So it's being sold for development.
Yeah, for the land essentially.
It's,
That one little house that's connected to it.
That's
that
cute,
looks like
isn't
it's
it?
in pretty good shape, right?
Yeah, but it's all kind of a package deal.
Yeah. Yeah. I know they talked about it at city council. I don't know what conclusion they came to. Probably nothing yet.
Yeah.
Oh,
What are you attempting over there, Deb?
I'm gonna do a flower
Excellent.
to start with, and then I don't know if I'll have time for the Christmas tree or not, but I'm definitely gonna look that one up.
You can definitely take enough stuff home to do it.
You'll have stuff here in case I need some more.
Claire, how's it going?
good.
Excellent.
Making a bunch of roses
That's great.
and connecting them all together.
And Nick, how's it going?
Well, it is going better and better each time.
Excellent.
Yeah,
I'm going to make a flower.
there's definitely a learning curve.
Absolutely.
And a lot of patience.
So much
If
patience.
you don't have patience.
I find this very relaxing though.
What do you think, Claire, is it relaxing?
Oh, yeah. Keep your mind. Not very open,
Yeah. So are we cheating because we're not from Solon?
No,
We're just in Solon in Iowa City.
Oh,
we are glad you're here.
That may be bonus hours.
I don't think that's ever been a. We've never had standing room only, have we?
That one where we did
Oh, the wreath. That was crazy.
That was it.
We so fun.
Just before COVID, that was like, that was December, and that was like,
Yeah.
I just kind of stood back and was, whoa.
It was like, I think my second or third program, and like, I wasn't paying close attention to how many people had signed up, and the day before, I was like, I don't actually have enough stuff. Like, I have to go to the store, buy more. And figure
And
out how to
then
do it.
what I remember from it, you had the big tube of Christmas ornaments. And one gal made like her whole wreath out of ornaments then.
She brought those two in. I was like, what are you doing, Brett?
It was funny. We laughed about that. I came with some friends and it was very interesting just watching the whole dynamic of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And afterwards, Chris was like, so what did you learn? And I was like, I thought it went well for
your
what it
first
was."
one.
Yeah. So what is Systems Unlimited? Is that what you called it?
Yeah, so we work with people with disabilities.
Excellent.
And I should have my badge on it. I can have staff. And I don't, so I should probably be fired. Since I'm the boss, I probably won't be. But are you gonna fire me?
No.
You sure?
Is it located in Iowa City or?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, there is a great big office, but that's typically not where we work out of. We work at sites or hourly program, and I do a site and the hourly program. Working with people with lots of different abilities. And having.
I
a
like
lot of
that.
fun.
People with different abilities, not disabilities, but they have,
Yeah.
yeah,
Many of them I went to.
yeah.
And, this is my job, I'm in working right now, this is my job, this is so cool. You know, best job ever.
So how did you find out about it then?
So I homeschool my kids, right? And my specialization of homeschooling is socialization. I actually like writing some magazines and stuff already about it. So I'm pretty good at like activity work. So I just really keep my ear to the ground and find all kinds of fun things.
This is in like the Solon Economist.
It is, but
You
we
post it
also
there and-
do it on Facebook and Instagram,
Mhm.
on our website.
And I happen to love sewing because, for one, I did my student teaching here. And when I was buying a house 2 or 3 years ago, I had to decide, do I want to leave Iowa City? Do I want to go out to the community? And someone was on my short list because they have such a good library. I have.
See,
Do I?
we hear that all the time, don't you?
Mostly from you.
Well, the thing is, it's like, I have an autistic child and I have a trans child. And I don't want them to go to communities where they're not accepted. And people who are more educated are more accepting. And people who are more educated are better libraries. Like Oxford, not so much, you know? So like that really mattered to me
Yeah,
when I was choosing where we studied. So I do it on the way.
Well, I'm glad you are welcome whenever you
I
want.
know, it'd be awfully quiet otherwise, wouldn't it, Alexis?
I think it's because it was so nice, because there were several people who were on the list to join us in person today
Yeah.
that came in and got kicked instead.
Well, that was gonna be me when I came in earlier today,
Can you like re-roll one, is that okay?
You can't.
and I did take the kit, and I thought, okay, now I'm gonna have to make sure I make it.
Well, I'm glad you
I've
did.
done golfing in time.
Yeah.
A red and blue green.
Oh, you are so smart. Look what she's got going on.
Oh, doing them together, that's a great idea.
Multi-colored.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah,
You are so awesome.
Without the string.
that wasn't even one of the examples.
Maybe I'll send it back.
That's what I do every day. Next.
Well, we've been looking at buying a house, and we talked to our real estate agent this week, and she was like, "Are you willing to look outside of Iowa City?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'd love to find something in Solon." She was like, "Not in your price range."
Oh, no,
gee.
yeah. Yeah, especially right now.
Yeah,
We were really lucky because when we bought the house, it was like in an up and coming neighborhood. So we got it really cheap for Iowa City. And it's already gone up 50,000 in like 2 years.
well, and it's crazy to me right now too, because we'll see a house we like, and by the time we call our realtor, it's already been sold.
Yeah,
So how are they finding out about it before?
I have no idea. So I've actually seen some in my neighborhood app. Like people are like, hey, we're gonna put this for sale. We want it. Because they have to list it.
Like Solon's got just a Solon community group or so, and people will post. I'll see on there.
Yeah, hopefully we're getting ready to those stores.
Now is not.
That's like Roy and I mean, we see what the houses are going for, and it's like, well, maybe we should,
We should sell. Don't
but then
buy.
where are we going? You know, that's
Yeah.
the whole thing. We live right at the entrance to the park, we've got like 4 acres, and pups love it out there.
If we're going into the park, are you on the right side?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. The rock gardens and lots of flowers. Yeah, we kind of just fell into that. I had a house, I was living in Cedar Rapids and had a house where I lived in Twin View, so that development
Okay.
right before that. And both sold our houses, this is 22 years ago, for sale by owner. Back then, we were gonna build in Cedar Rapids. We had a lot picked out, had a deposit put down. Just went and talked to, we're getting ideas, so talked to a realtor, and she goes, oh, I'm just down the road now, doing an open house, why don't you just stop by here? And that was the house. Like Roy said, it had a mailbox, it had, you know, some of the landscaping was done, it was, and we wanted something where we could leave the driveway and go running, go biking,
Right.
have the lake access and that, so,
Well, that's where you are.
yeah.
That's great for it.
That It's there.
Back there all the time.
My kids love to go out to the spillway.
Oh, sure.
They would spend.
We were there this
all day
morning,
there.
yeah.
Would let 'em.
It's flowing now. It's pretty,
Is it?
Yeah. it's a waterfall. It's a legit waterfall.
When I was, a kid, the spillway where that is was tent only camping, and it was free. And we would spend almost all summers there.
Down at the spill, really?
Yeah.
You could camp right there, like up on top of the rock.
At the bottom. Okay, so
The
I'm
spill,
thinking about the res, that's what it is.
Oh,
sure.
You're thinking of
the
waterfall
dam, the
res,
coral
yeah,
dam.
yeah.
Yeah. I
I'm sorry.
was gonna say, I'd be a little worried
I was
camping up
gonna
on
say.
that rock.
Not quite, sorry.
Definitely not with my kids.
Yeah. I just think of rolling over in the middle of the night and all of a
Yeah.
sudden splash. So do you glue it and then pinch if you want to make like a petal? You glue it first. Okay.
Yep.
How did your, oh, that looks so pretty.
Work hard.
So good. I did just show Claire a campground out in Fred. In this town, I don't know. And the Osprey Trail.
Sure. If you're at the Raptor Center, that's, real close to the spillway and
Yeah, but it's,
Oh, yeah.
I haven't had a chance yet to show her the teepees. Yeah, I gotta show you the teepees.
oh, the people have built.
Yeah.
So Deb, being out there by the park, do you hear about and feel those things that Erica wrote about in her book? Yeah, you see it all?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say a lot of it, but and like some weekends, it is just absolutely, especially during COVID. And if the park rangers are, they'll bring in extra, for the weekend, extra DNR guys and that, but if they don't get on it first thing in the morning, the traffic gets so bad, it'll be backed up past our place. And then people will just park their cars on the shoulder and go walk in and. Yeah. I'm sure there's people down there today, down at the beach,
Oh, I'm sure there is.
Yeah. The water's still in the 50s, but too chilly for me, but.
As soon as it gets warm, like in March, my kids are like, can we go play in Spillway? Can we go play in
No,
Spillway?
yeah.
And it's gonna be freezing.
I love going in the summertime and just getting down in the water there by the last waterfall.
Mhm.
And if it's flowing, it's almost like a massage that you end up getting.
Claire, she's been a ladybug.
Really?
I'm trying.
Tweezer helps, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine doing that without a,
You're impossible without
this is pretty cool.
it.
Excellent done.
Mhm.
I don't think you'd be able to use a paper cutter and trim paper this tiny. If you went bigger though, and I've got a paper cutter at home, you could probably.
Yeah. I think it would definitely double your workload for the art.
I'm studying.
It takes a long time. It kind of looks like cute.
I love it though, it looks like wrapping.
Hello. Hello, how are you? Yeah. That's fine. Nothing in the art class.
That sounded like a successful school.
It's the little things like.
Yeah.
And sound effects, I always. It was clear one.
Good.
Yeah.
So did they give you any idea when that fire station's gonna be ready?
Well, I talked to Greg Morris on Sunday or so, and he says their tentative move-in date, or what was it? Was something like June 27th, you know, way back when. He goes, yeah, that's not gonna happen. But they got the roof on, they were waiting for the winds to calm down.
Oh.
So they got that on, you know, they're working on the inside, but I'm thinking they're hoping by fall. So that's kind of when we're thinking about doing our planting there.
I hadn't heard a date,
Yeah.
but every time, I just heard summer, and every time I drive by, I go, "Oh, I don't think so."
Yeah. Supposedly the hotel, that literary hotel,
Yeah,
they're gonna start taking reservations. I don't know if it's to be open, but they're taking reservations middle of this month.
wow.
Going by there too, I don't see that. God, they've been working on that a long time.
So long.
I hope they have an open house. That would be really neat to go
Yeah.
through there.
I never went in before when it was the auditorium or.
See, there was a bowling alley in there.
Oh,
Just hard to believe. It almost like one time was it a movie theater or so, where they showed movies in there?
I had no idea.
I'm gonna call this good. I'm gonna grab.
That was excellent. I love it. Can I take a picture?
Sure, please do.
I always forget to take pictures and then Megan yells at me the next day.
That was your phone?
It was my phone.
That's
I
so
can leave all
clever.
that here. Yeah.
Can I take a picture with you in it?
Sure.
Thank you.
Very good.
Photos of faces do better.
Fun.
Feel free
Now,
to take
Marilyn's
more
gonna be
colors.
jealous.
I think she really is. She's really excited about it.
And next month is, I see a
Next
birdhouse.
month is a birdhouse. That's where we're gonna assemble, and then I will have lots of stuff you can decorate.
Oh, fun.
Paint and buttons and all kinds of stuff.
So we get to keep the little quilling.
You do.
Thank you. And the blue. This.
And if you're dying to keep the tweezers, I'd let you have them.
No, not at all. I've got tweezers and gold.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna pick out, I'm gonna try and do that Christmas tree.
How do you all feel about photographs?
Sure.
I love it.
Okay. Perfect.
I will actually probably have, this is just Claire for our newsletter. She was in there with the,
Lizard and snake.
yeah,
Lizard and snake.
yeah, the North Liberty Library, they did.
Oh, this is
Yeah. Yeah, lots of fun.
I like that.
Up in Dubuque?
No, and, well, no, but that's a great place. We went to, the North Liberty, had a reptile. They had somebody come from a reptile,
Oh,
That giant turtle.
brought some.
That was
Brought
today.
the
no,
animals.
no, no, it was like a month ago.
Yeah.
But that was in our newsletter also. So I could probably put a little bit of blue right there. And then start doing that one. We can do all of these.
You really don't have to feel guilty about coming out here. We're glad you're here.
Alexis and I would just be staring at each other. Somebody was asking today if I was gonna be repeating that ribbon class.
Oh, yeah?
So we're looking at December, they go south for the winter. I said, you know what, Karen, I could just do my own private class.
Is it Karen Klingerman?
Karen Foster,
Oh,
golfed with her today. I said, I know Maryland, Maryland's wanting in person on that.
well, I haven't planned out clear into winter yet, but we should look at doing it again, because I think it would be valuable to do it in person.
Oh, definitely. And if nothing else, kind of tag it on to another class.
Yeah. A week or something.
If people wanted to come, let's say, in, half hour, well, I don't know, half hour early or.
You make a gator, is it? Oh, the gator bottle.
No, that would be awesome.
A lot, actually.
You want a bag for those dead?
I've got my bag here. Okay. That should be okay. This stuff.
One of the houses that we looked at in Cedar Rapids, we actually went as far as getting it inspected. And the walls,
Oh,
yeah, because the foundation is bad. I was like, oh my gosh. And they got really mad at us for not money,
We like when the house that moves.
right? At the very foundation is broken.
Money while you sleep. That's not nice.
Hmm.
I think that's my biggest fear in buying a home is like buying one and finding out something like that after the fact, you know, like I
Right.
know you get an inspection, but. So. it's terrifying.
I spent a lot of time reading what to do at a first time fire from a lot of different places. And one of the things I remember the most was making sure you go with them. The person who's inspecting it, make sure they're actually doing it.
Oh, right.
And you wouldn't think that was a thing, but I guess it is. And also making sure that they actually are certified for termites and certified for like all these other things, because that would matter.
Yeah.
I want to turn on you like you're having.
Yeah, or radon in the basement. Or,
Right.
yeah.
These are natural positions.
Mm-hmm.
I sign up right here for the birdhouses.
Yes,
I'll
ma'am.
be the first one.
Is that a Tuesday?
It is. It's always the second Tuesday of the month for this
Ooh.
class.
Should we go again?
Oh, yeah. Put some cotton balls on
There we go.
Awesome.
it.
I gotta get a word of Wally's. I think they go to bed early, so I identify as mushroom. Whatever.
Well, have a good night. We'll see you.
You too.
I'm sure I'll see you before then.
I was
Next
gonna
Tuesday at
say.
book club.
Nothing else, yep, next Tuesday for sure. I need to start that one.
I haven't started yet
I
either.
finished the fuzz one, so
Yeah,
that
I
was
thought that one was
interesting.
really good.
Whoever knew elephants kill people,
Not that.
stampede, and- oh, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a lot. I mean, just not random thing, but that was
Yeah.
interesting. Very good.
Good
Thanks,
night.
everyone.
Thank you.
Good night.
I have a thing for random.
Every year, the science teacher at the high school does an all community read. And this year, her zoology class is reading this book, Buzz, about when nature breaks the law. It's mostly just like animals doing animal things that humans don't approve of.
That's so funny.
It was a really interesting book.
I things that.
Yeah.
May I use a spreader?
What's that?
May I use a spreader?
Yes. You're welcome.
Is this like a cake spreader?
It is not. I bought it in the craft section of the dollar store. I don't know what it's for, but this is mostly what I use it for. So,
That's kind of cool. I actually have found things like, Mr. Scraper. It's really helpful.
oh yeah.
There's so many things. Okay.
Mary Roach is the author.
You guys have in your website?
You're so good. I didn't even think about that.
And go call Fuzz.
Are you texting me?
Fuzz.
You think this is something you could enjoy your home?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so does yours ever come uncoiled?
Yes.
That's not.
Yeah. If you take their little glue needle and stick it underneath and put a little dot of glue underneath and kind of reshape it with your tweezers.